active.
Yeah. Microscope on Nathan, right, calling for this team right now because I think they're very static in a lot of rounds, and especially on Anubis, a map where you need to be getting info or taking space, making plays together as a team to trade out, especially on the CT side, to regain control when you're in the dark. We saw them in that game the other day just kind of freeze up on those CT sides and not go for information, even in man disadvantaged rounds. So I want to see a little bit more flair. I want to see that fight from Red Canids in this game today, because this is a legacy that is a little wounded, that is a little weakened after getting absolutely obliterated in their last two BO1s. I'd say this one is absolutely anyone's game as we look to eliminate the loser of this best of three and go into that final 2-2 matchup. All to play for right now. Red Canids legacy.
And already it's that sort of start that we were looking for, right?
Yeah.
It's very, very slow off the top.
That's fine. CT pistol, play your USPs. Glock's going to come running your way. Let's see what Legacy put together.
I'm going to be keeping a watchful eye on Henny here in this series. For now, it's Venom Zera with the dual Berettas. Him and those bloody Zeras. Cold Zera also springs up with two.
Nice.
Neckers and Lato try to make it across. We'll tap one out.
This guy's a bit of a beast. Lato and Dumao, a deadly duo. A lot of firepower on this young pair. Got all the info now. Bomb, P15, not a lot of time. You can't go A. 15 seconds. Realizes that, gets the tap in, goes for the deep peek, but he gets run down by Davideus as Red Canids take pistol.
We talked about how Cold Zera was the man in the legacy jersey for the longest while before getting dropped after Copenhagen. Sadzin, though, pretty new onto the roster, and he wasn't the immediate pickup. There was a moment where they were in a bit of flux. So, don't know if you remember who was standing in, but it was Stewie 2K, which was a bit of a wild time for the legacy roster. But they settled on Sadzin, and so this is the series for him to show us why.
Yeah, exactly. We've not seen him play internationally or play Tier 1 events at all, so very young player, 20 years old. He's not played in any notable teams, really, so he's been in this roster a while, in fairness. He's had a chance to get acquainted. Keep our eye on him today. Lato moving in through camera, trying to win this 4-spy round for Legacy. They've got another player at A to worry about. A team kill is not perfect. But Lato, he wants to kill everybody. 6K round for Lato required. Bomb down, he needs to reload in that M4. Does he feel safe to do it? Yes. They're both behind the Molotov. Flash for the repeak. He might win this round on his own. Teammates and opponents fall at the hand of Lato as he swings on for the ace, but Cold Zera denies his ex-teammate.
Very lovely moment there for Cold to be able to regain control of that, right? That's what you're hoping he can bring if the pressure of an ace clutch going against you is getting to everyone else. You're hoping that Cold Zera is able to rise above it, and he manages that. Lato, though, if these first 2 rounds are anything to go by, is coming into this with some serious steam. Not every day you almost have the ace clutch just 2 rounds in, so let's see if Legacy can keep this up.
Heavy in middle. They bought again off the back of 4 kills on a plant. Very reasonable thing to do, but they've got to make it work or they'll be in the hole economically. Fast through the camera smoke, no respect. Looking for that Heaven player again. Double ace setup for Red Canids. Can they find them? Legacy, only 1 entry. Henny can give up the site, but he's very low. Gonna have to play retake here. That's fine. Advantage Red Canids despite the plant. They've got the guns for it as well. Legacy, however, have a lot of space. It's a bloodbath right now. Dumao 1v2 and Venom Zera overwhelms him. So Legacy, another close round, but not quite breaking through. Red Canids thriving in this chaos right now, though. Very quick to group up and attack together there. It's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was in the Red Canids versus M80 game the other day, one that ended up going the distance and then some into overtime. You got a taste for the Red Canids CT side, and honestly, I liked it. I thought they put up a good CT half there, and truthfully, it felt like it was enough for them to close that game, and they certainly had their chances.
Yeah.
I think if they get more than 5 rounds CT, they're well and truly onto a winner here. So already doing a lot of the heavy lifting to open up this map.
They definitely learned some lessons in that game, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was the one after where Cold came out and said, like, I'm just having to tell the guys, you know, play with confidence. You kind of deserve to be here, so play like it.
Yeah.
And I think that's sound advice. He also went in depth onto Henny, and that's why I said I want to keep a watchful eye on Henny in this game, because something that Cold echoed is a sentiment that previous teammates of Henny have, which is everything about his game is sort of linked to his individual performance. If he's playing well, then the comms are good, and he's bringing a lot to the table, and he can win you games single-handedly almost. But if he's struggling, everything drops off. You know, the comms get a little bit worse. He's no longer like that positive presence within the team. And so with that being the case, and with him being the second most experienced member of Red Canids, you want him playing well.
All right, full control right now. You said 5 would be fine. It would be enough, perhaps, for Red Canids.
This is already like
onto a great start.
Yeah, like you literally. It feels dumb to say you couldn't be doing better. Like, obviously, you're 4-0 up. You haven't lost a round. But you know, on the CT side of Anubis, where things can change very, very quickly, it can be really hard. Like if the T's start building up some money to kind of get back into the game, and you're a bit more limited in terms of some of the opening moves you can look for. This is exactly what they want.
It's an interesting smoke, though. Right-click, walk, jump throw. Smoke off A main. Henny, he obviously boosts over these. Maybe he's calling for Nathan to do the same. Gonna break it first. And nothing spotted in A main. Nathan's got some lineup. Gonna re-clear main with a smoke molly. Oh. Molly lands in the smoke. Dumao is on the edge. Peeking before the flash for Nithon. Big mistake. 5v4 for Legacy. Rotate having to be called now. Davideus moving through CT to that A side. And so Legacy making a nice call to regroup for a B hit right now with the con control.
That's really rough, man. Like, I think it's a good idea to try and retake that space, and they had everything in place, but the execution was horrible. Nathan swinging out before the flashbang pops.
I think when you hear the molly miss, you don't need to go. But liked his chances.
You understand wanting to do it once they've like wasted, essentially otherwise they've like wasted the smoke on main. But Venom Zera, let's see what he can do. He's had some nice moments here. The back plat defending B, Venom Zera can't make it more than one. And with him out of the round, Legacy look to put their first up on the board.
Yeah, nice and simple. Great call. They get the entry. They regroup very quickly on the B hit. And they split it from con and main with a good smoke. So able to isolate that one B player. Perfect round for Legacy. All you can ask for. And fine to save this for Red Canids. Simply out of position with a gamble. Off the back of that entry kill. They lost all info. Terrorists win. definitely a level of familiarity that will play into this game. As I said, 3 BO3s played between these teams this year, 2 of which being won by Legacy. But the only times these guys played Anubis, it was Red Canids coming up with the dub, so don't be surprised to see them take their map pick. Feels like if any team would 2-0, it would be the Canids. But I'm expecting a long, hard-fought game between these 2 pretty experienced teams. We're fighting for elimination today. Oh, great molly as well. He just gets a bit of a tick, and more than anything, that's info for Nython. He knows to keep spamming that box. 5-on-4, CT side.
And he's got middle on lock. And he's even got Davideus making his way back over to lend a helping hand. First point of contact going to be this AWP. And Henny hits the shot. Sadzin dead. Davideus follows up. The interplay over in middle. That's that double. Leaves it all unbarted. And he is a dead man. Red Canids were fully ready for that mid take. No gaps to be exploited there for Legacy.
It's just a full dry mid fight, right? Like there's no util, there's no jump for the AWP, there's no flash to get him off angle. They're really just trying to go contact in a 4-on-5. And Red Canids just trade peaks really well there. Would like to see a bit of supplementary utility for Legacy. Cut off Temple at least. They pay the price. I do want this A hit though. Mid player putting on pressure, but it's all about A main, which does get smoked. That's going to buy, or rather waste some time on this A hit. Are they going to flash through? Henny looked interested for a moment, but Legacy take A main now. Red Canids util has been really nice in this game though. They keep re-mollying A main different ways. And look at this stack they're putting on. Still 3 strong. They just smoke off camera. They know this hit's coming right now. Nython holds strong, and his teammates are by his side. So many CTs in the sight to stop this hit. It is looking lackluster for Legacy. Trying to go through this A main smoke. Double entry does get found, but there's no win in this round. Sadzin yet to frag. A bomb part would be mighty. He could have got it. He goes for the kill. Oh my god, he didn't finish it. Now he's got time to run B just about, I think. He should be able to get a plant, but they're going to be there just as quick.
Even if you get there with time to plant, you can't afford to take a fight here. You've just got to plug in the numbers. Sadzin, coldzera was the guy he replaced. coldzera is going to be the one to swing out and finish him in that one-on-one over towards the B side of the map.
Such a ugly round for Legacy, right? They get everyone in A main, but they still try and go through that smoke. Their own smoke in main. I don't think that even does you favors. It just delays the time you hit. It makes it even more obvious because the whole map is quiet and Red Canids are peeking water the entire time. They call the bluff completely. Triple A setup off spawn. Red Canids know what they're up against. That's more like it. Lurk Smoke and B will put on a bit of pressure. and they want to use it. A great call for Red Canids here. Super passive. They know they're against pistols. They play the range.
All right.
How does that happen? Mouse bug. Okay. Little smoke spam. Red Canids playing the retake utility right now. Very impressed at their nades in this game. How does Sadzin win this? He kind of has to be the heavy carry in this round. He's checking the flank right now, leaving Dumao on his own on an island in the site. Needed a headshot to make it happen. They line up. There is a chance. They are low.
Oh!
He gets one, but they're not off the bomb. They line up again. I think he's won it. 1v4. There's no time. Sadzin wins the round off of spam through the smoke. The body block was not enough.
Terrorists win.
They did all they could to try and stop him. They're throwing bodies in front of the spam. And Sadzin, that fifth man added in for Legacy, has just put them back on the board. Wasn't able to deliver in the last clutch attempt. He's managed it this time. Does it with the rifle, no less. Bought in to be the AWPer. But a huge moment there for Legacy as finally they pick up one of these clutches.
I thought him going back B main was the death sentence. I thought, no way. But there were low players on that defuse.
It's always scary when main gets smoked like that.
Yeah. So easy to spam. And also you get the confirmation because you can shoot gaps through the smoke. So you just see a little bit of like skin. You see there's a CT still there. Because I thought, oh, he spams one player out. Maybe he thinks they're off it now. Sick round for Sadzin. That's one way to wake up. Get activated.
Dude, if this kind of hypes him up now, switches him on, it's going to be super interesting because getting to don that AWP now, after picking up a round win, gets to use his weapon of choice. You just pulled off a hell of a 1v4.
Oh dear. And the nade. Whoa!
Oh!
Martin! Chill. Flying.
Okay, this is a wild game right now. Venom Zera going to try and throw himself in down here. The Zeras flock together. But it's Barton, the one who's flying. Awkward flash there. Neck is trying to kind of pack roll down this side of the map, but Nithon's molly is perfect. 2 kills from that Molotov. And it's teed up Red Canids to consider going for this retake. Dumao, dead to Davideus over in heaven. Now Sadzin's going up there. Trying to make this work with the AWP, but that's wishful thinking. Barton, now it's his time to try and clutch. Had that crazy opener with the jump shot, but full blind. Cold Zera sends his regard. The flashbang tees up Davideus for an easy triple there to close.
Super unnecessary to go for that fight. Like, they want to thin it, but maybe they're scared of how sophisticated these retakes are, right? Like, we're seeing a lot of util get saved for the post plant, and to be fair, they had a couple of belts, but Legacy really jumping the gun at times, right? That molly push, the climb heaven twice. If you're going to do it, man, just swing, just commit. Because Davideus is jiggling. He sees you, and then he peeks into you. You got to be the peeker, not the peeky. And a blinding round for Red Canids again. 7-2. Fantastic CT side. They've already done their half. Any more, it's just gravy. That's beautiful for Davideus. Commits in the molly. Gets a double kill off the spray. Oh, nice shot. Panic for Sadzin, but he saves it. Venom Zera is very low. They have to go. Oh. Bomb's not across. What?
Oh, legged. Finished off by Nython. And so this CT side for Red Canids, we said anything more than 5 was great. They're up on an 8 right now. They are running away with this opening map. Their map pick, sure, one they're very well versed on. But outside of a couple of bright sparks for Legacy, there hasn't been much there. Now, I know the Cold Zera is kind of the headline connection between these teams, but there's a crazy deal of connection between a lot of these players. Even taking a look at Barton, who's currently 1-9, having a really rough go at it. Came back from Valor into the Legacy roster, loaned to Red Canids for a while, and then recalled and put back in this team. And that was when they departed with NQZ. But then that left them wanting an AWPer, and that's what Sadzin was meant to plug the hole of. Cold even did it for a while.
Yeah. Oh my God, Cold. Side by side.
He's right there.
I think.
Oh, he's got past him.
He doesn't know.
Neck is round palm of his hand.
Oh.
Can't find the other with the Tech 9.
And he panicked there. Gotta just let him go. Your teammates are dead. Breathe. Play the trigger discipline a little bit. Just spamming the Tech 9. You don't win that unless you take a clean one tap on the first player so you can transfer. But Legacy, I think this is just heat of the moment. That's what this game feels like right now. They're getting caught up in the swell. Oh, there were some nice entries, but Legacy have had chances. Red Canids have played fantastic retakes all game long. With the unfortunate 1v4 against Sadzin, but you can't, you know, a little out of their hands, it felt. Just good spam. Otherwise, a near flawless game for Red Canids, 9-2. I like that they feed him another nade. But no one in that position, sadly, for Legacy. Looking for scraps at the end of the half.
And it is sick to see Venom Zera, you know, just grabbing the ball by the horns, having a fantastic game right now as this guy. It feels like those words from Cold, playing braver, playing more confident, have really resonated with Venom Zera.
He's clotheslining them, like they're peeking him and he's just two-bulleting, headshotting. Let's see, what's he got? A little bit of a spray, but the recovery is miraculous. There's a trade, but the drop-down's audacious. Coldzera can still keep things even. Oh, that's a heady shot, all right, but he won't last much longer. Nython now, 1v2 with good timing, gives away his position, and he walks into Lato. So it's Legacy who find 3 on the half. Look, I'm not going to say it's a good half. Full stop. End of sentence.
that's what the sentence said.
I mean, every game's winnable, right? It is CS2 and MR12. You can always come back, but that's a really good game out of Red Canids right now.
Yeah, any game is winnable, sure, but 3 rounds T-side Anubis, no, it's
not good.
It's very, very bad. It kind of dire straits here
They're
for
in
Legacy
trouble.
on Red Canids map pick.
They are definitely in trouble, Harry.
And I think it would be easy to feel like, oh, well, Red Canids picked this. They've really looked to go to Anubis a hell of a lot here across the RMRs, and it is a map that they play domestically a lot too. But it's not like this is a map Legacy aren't well versed on. They themselves play a lot of Anubis. They have some legit wins, some close games in there too, versus top-tier international competition. And so only scraping by with 3 rounds is not enough for Legacy. Not by a long margin.
And Mirage up next, which Red Canids won in the last head-to-head they played. Oh, they are. Heady, big entry. Dumao's got to give it up. They're just charging Glock train in middle. Nothing to do but run away for Dumao, and they actually fake it out, go back to that A site. It looked like a temple chase, and so Legacy fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Now Red Canids get an A plant. It's going to be a quick flank, but no kit. Only a smoke in this round. They've got to get the kills. They've got to get them fast. And as soon as Red Canids hear this flank, they can position safe in heaven.
Sanson is the first man in. Dumao and Barton up on the board. There's one more from Dumao. He's someone who's been a little quiet here. If you can get more mileage out of him, and that's a good way for it to start. That's what you're going to need if you're Legacy, if you want to stand a shot in this series.
Yeah, requirement for a comeback is a pistol, or at least a force by win. But hey, he took force by win. I think if I'm Red Canids, I'm buying this every time to try and flip it on its head early with such a lead. I would hate to see them eco this round. Play with that confidence that you're talking about, right? Got a huge lead, you got the money. Let's get Galils, do a pop.
Nice!
But they eco. It's very reserved. Reserved is the word for Red Canids, though. They are a very reserved team. Felt like this was a really good opportunity to just kill Legacy's momentum immediately, and you still have so many buy rounds in the half.
If you want to look at some positives, it's like, if Dumao does get activated, you have your high-flying trio for Legacy starting to get switched online, right? Because thus far, it's kind of been Lato and Sadzin doing the heavy lifting to have gotten them the few rounds that they have. But Dumao was like a notable absentee. And so if he gets activated, those are your 3-star players all getting switched online. That is the 3 that you want up top of the board, and that's where they find themselves right now.
Oh! Any more? No. It's only an eco, though. So Red Canids, what have they got in store now for the first buy? Couple of really cold players on this Legacy lineup. 4 and 3 kills on Neckers and Barton. Exploitable, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, those two names are meant to be like top in the charts, but you just don't want them to feel like problems, right? And I guess that's what we're going to get to see across this CT side is, can they be unproblematic? Because you want the room to go to that other trio.
It's fine. All will be forgiven. They back out. Like that Legacy are trying to make a play, but Red Canids placed safe, very safe. Not challenging the water. Necker's looking like he's having a rough game. Crosshair placement all over the place. Very vocal on the cam, but right now having trouble putting up much impact in the server. He's going to be required in this round. Red Canids 20 seconds on this hit. They've got to go.
Left it really down to the wire.
Oh no.
Dumao dropping in, falls, and Neckers doesn't last long either. So even though it's left down to those final 20 seconds, both kills get rolled out in front of you like that. It's nice and easy for Red Canids.
Yeah, it's a shame because he drops out, but the molly comes as he's dropping. He didn't know there was a backside molly. I can't blame him. It was very late. So he drops in to help his teammate and then just gets crisped. Cooked. So Red Canids, if they take a clean gun round like this, big trouble for Legacy when he's going to start building very early in this half. Davideus has the option to hunt these kills.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for Neckers to get a tool activated before this ends, right? The guy helming the ship, and you've had some big problems here to open up this map. So, as you say, you know, you're seeing him in the cams. He's motor-mouthed, he's talking a lot, he's trying to keep everything in line. And with that comes the drop-off of focus on his own game. And so in those moments, it becomes even more important for someone like Dumao to bridge that gap when they're on this site together. But unfortunate there for him, as you say, dropping out of heaven, gets mollied, can't do a thing. Red Canids about to break through, and if they break Legacy's money here and now, this map is looking over.
Red Canids, I mean, they're not even taking water off spawn. Like, that's how passive this team is. They really wait before they do anything. Oh, that's awkward. That molly just misses. Clips the corner, and so Neckers can re-peek mid for info, but they start to take it now with a smoke instead. Flashing this for Nithon. This is all the makings of an A split yet again. And they don't even have A main control. Legacy too strong on the site. And so back to B is the call for Red Canids. Back to Con, where Barton has a re-smoke. I mean, this re-smoke, oh, it's good timing. 20 seconds now on the clock when that fades, but Red Canids can still win the round with minimal time.
Smoke going to cut off the sight lines of this temple rotate, but it will also allow Sadzin to actually get in and lend a helping hand. Are they assembling this boost? Lost in the smoke right now. They're trying to. Lato up and over, throw it in, and 2 kills from it. It's worth its weight in gold. Chaos to get them there, sure, but they capitalize. It's now 5v3. Bomb down. Red Canids. They needed that. Dumao dead on his flank in through water. Legacy try to move out. They don't have a smoke here to get on that bomb, so they need to be given some fights. They need to thin the herd. Red Canids are just able to play around the timer. Venomzera with a wide swing, but it's teed up for Henny to be that man to close.
Oh, no.
Not planted for him, though, so he's going to bring the fight to Legacy, and he can't find it. Sadzin holds the line. Bomb not planted for Dark. That was not teed up for Henny to win that clutch. Legacy throwing in the impromptu boost does them a world of good.
Yeah, sick double for Lato there, inside of the smoke. And because Plat's open, right, they don't have a molly for it, they kind of have to plant safe, but as a result, it's a shame to see so many players just swinging early. Davideus has to be the final player there to win that round. But they put Henny in a literally impossible spot. He's got the AWP out, so does Sadzin, who despite having a slow start to this game has come alive and been the highest kill player for Legacy so far. Again, the passive start for Red Canids, but Legacy are not forcing any issue. Entries in middle, that will do. Smoking the molly and trying to fight. Legacy pay the price.
Legacy have fully gambled in with this B stack. And that is where Red Canids are leaning right now. The bomb on the back of Henny making its way up towards Dark. But now suddenly it peels away. That's because Venomzera has hit the go button out through the A site, and he's confirmed it. There is nobody here. So that stack will be dodged for Red Canids. They're so close to playing into Legacy's hands. And these were the kind of moments, actually, that were missing in that M80 game. The one where after Cold had spoke about how he talked to this team and how he wanted them to play with more confidence. These sort of scouting moves where you have the man advantage, you've got a 5v3, all that really matters is not, you know, playing right into that stack. These were the little elements, these little details that were missing. It felt like Red Canids always wanted all the info, where you don't always get to have all the info. And to do that, you have to take risks, and they were very risk-averse. It felt like no one wanted to do anything wrong in that game, and in doing so, they were making more mistakes. And so that's nice. Stack dodged, round secured, 11 on the board. Nithon's double in mid is more than enough to give that over to Red Canids.
Terrorists win.
Still winnable for Legacy, but they've got to be near flawless now. And we still have those weak elements that we entered the half with in Barton, in Neckers. Sadsin taking matters into his own hands. He's got a good pre-aim here, he knows. This is so
time
risky.
limited on how long he can hold that for, though,
Impressive
right?
that he gave it a go, but like we said, Red Canids do not take water. It's not like even because Legacy have been super aggressive. Sure, they pushed it in the first gun round, but they bail pretty quickly. And Red Canids don't even move out rugs. They don't even take A stairs. They wait a while. They put on the mid pressure instead. And look how diligent they are. Flashing water to clear the canals.
I mean, you know, while early on in the RMR, you felt like it was coming from a place of fear, this is just a structured, slow spread across the map. Like, you have Legacy on the ropes. Legacy are coming into these rounds with weaker buys, with less util, and from their paranoia, they're burning all of that, right? And so you just sitting back, letting them get through the limited resources they're coming in with is a great move for the Red Canids. And now, as we approach that, you know, late round mark again, 30 seconds left on the clock, they set their eyes on a bomb site. It's over here towards B. They've got the control. They've got Dark, main. They're going to split this. Util now starts to come out for the Red Canids. Legacy are pulling everyone over. They are scrambling these rotates. Once again, it's these smokes that cut the site in half. Last time, the boost for Lato was enough to save the day, but they can't run that back again.
Oh, the plants allow. They don't do it. They had the orb ready to go. Despite a great nade from Barton, he gets spammed through the smoke. There's some damage done, but they need to be quick. They're on the clock. No util. We need fights. Venom Zera's taken him, but only good for one. It's again not planted for the connector. That being said, Henny has the cross. They jump over his scope. They chase him down. What a great play for Legacy. Is it going to be enough? Sadzin needs to cover B main. Molly goes out. Dumao with a trade and a messy spray. Gives just enough time for Legacy to save the day. No room for error there. Dumao 3K and Legacy stay in this in regulation. It's just a mess of spam, right? First pause for Red Canids. First time they felt tested in this game. It's a great time to do it. And it also shows just how in control they've felt all map long.
Yeah, and I like the timing on this. Like, you felt largely in control. You've been able to just play with the momentum you have. But I think, you know, if you are a Cold Zera and you know that this is a team because of their relative inexperience, because even the experienced pieces you have are ones that are prone to, you know, the kind of tilt factor of Counter-Strike. You want to keep ahead of that. You don't want to cool your first pause by the time it's too late, especially when you haven't used a single one yet. So trying to get ahead of the fact that Legacy pull off that retake, because if you remember, even in that M80 game, they had multiple chances to close the game out, multiple post plants where they do everything right to get into the bomb site, but then it fell apart after the bomb was planted. And so right now, you're still winning. Right now, Legacy is still under pressure, and you want to try and keep that on. So a time to try and make sure everyone's on the same page here. 2 players in that smoke right there over in middle. Neck is dead, but are they ready for the second? They're not. Dumao gets the strike. Head-to-head v Nython, and he can't close it. Sadzins had to pull back through A. And with Nython locking down mid, he is left entirely alone. You can't go for this if you're Legacy. Red Canids with a heads-up split through A, through mid. They put so much pressure on. They get away with both those mid kills. Nython's been a beast over in middle here on Anubis.
I do like the death balls that Red Canids do. I feel like the trading is really, really nice. Spacing looks good on this T side. On the camera pushes together.
This just doesn't look like the same team from day one of the RMR.
Yeah.
It feels like, you know, you often hear things like, when Cole gave that interview saying how he spoke to the guys, trying to bring a bit more energy, their usual face, those weren't just platitudes. He meant that, and it feels like that is what's happening for Red Canids. They're so much more active. Risks are being taken. They're getting the reward from it. This is exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, and while this is Legacy's first BO3, because they've just won with an opening BO1, then lost 2 in a row, Red Canids, they went down 0-2. They're looking to reverse sweep here in the RMR, make it all the way to the major. They are mere maps away from doing it. They are a round away from taking their pick in this series. Dare I say, it's not impossible.
And you know, there is some kind of obscure poetry to it in the way that Cold was a part of the run last time for Legacy, but over time his kind of role within the team had changed. What he brought to the table had changed. He was no longer the captain. Neckers had already taken over that. Now he was having to pick up the AWP because you no longer had one. And so suddenly, you know, he kind of felt surplus to requirement. You didn't have him in the team to be a leader. You had him AWPing instead of, you know, playing the rifle. And so he ended up getting removed, and that led to Sadzin's inclusion. But now, finding a home in Red Canids, linking up with Henny again.
It's a beautiful story.
Yeah. Trying to go on that revenge run in this grudge match.
Yeah. You bench me, I eliminate you.
This is it for Legacy.
Yeah.
Fast out through main,
like
they take away all the water control. You've said this a bunch. Red Canids have not looked to fight for this. Not in the early stages. They haven't been super active here. Instead, just holding the extremities. And I think even with this deep take, like, that works in Red Canids' favor right now. It's a nice idea from Legacy, and they're going to get given this room over towards A. But they're never going to get like a fight on the back of it. That will have to come later.
Yeah, and Legacy never leave a man here, right? They know the clears have been pretty diligent, so they're just going to post up double middle, but the util's been solid for Red Canids all game long. Spray is good to trade 2-1, and they can set up again one of these camera splits into A. They've loved doing this. Oh, it's actually a camera smoke, so Sadzin's got a chance to fight Davideus, take him on his own. Oh, he tries to commit, but Davideus taking him out, can go through this smoke if he wants. They're looking for B now, turns at the wrong time, Barton finds him. Now it does look like B for sure, but Red Canids know they have timing, they take the space.
Oh, keen shot for Barton. And with Dumao still alive, there's always some hope here, but not for long. Venom Zera deletes him. It's going to have to come down for Barton. Had a really, really rough time in this game as this guy donning the AWP. He closes the gap, but the moment he fires off, they're going to be ready to swing this. Won't even spot Henny at the back of the site. Won't see Venom Zera out on platform. They move past him, and there was no chance at that immediate trade. Venom Zera swinging out, seals the deal on Anubis. The map pick of the Red Canids squad going their way, and in dominant fashion as well. Legacy were on the back foot throughout that entire opening map of this elimination best of 3.
Yeah, never really felt like they got into the game right. A couple of rounds here on the CT side, some last second retakes, but ultimately Red Canids were in full control the entire time. The pace looks very different to what